Perfect.
Wonderful. All right. Hi, everybody. I hope that you have joined. So we have about 22 people in right now, 11 people in the Nearpod. If you have not joined the Nearpod, I'm highly encouraging you to, for a few different reasons. We're going to be in there doing some activities, and I really want everyone to be able to participate. Ready? I would love for you to join the Nearpod. You can use the code that is on the screen, or you can use the link I just put in the chat. Either one is fine as long as you are jumping in. I will get started in just a moment. As you're finishing up and jumping in, we're here to discuss student engagement using student-led Nearpod tools. So that is the focus for today. Just a little bit about who I am. My name is Asia. I'm Asia Long. I am your customer success manager, which means I'm like your catch-all person. I support Anne Arundel County with any questions, concerns, updates. I am just like the catch-all go-to person. I make sure you guys are happy and loving Nearpod. A little bit about me. I was born and raised in Maryland. I still live in Maryland. I live in St. Mary's County currently. I grew up in Calvert County. I went to Northern High School. And later on down the road, I went to college, got a degree and all that good stuff. And I taught at lower elementary, so third, first grade, for 6 years. And then I was a resource teacher for 2 years. That's like a catch-all position. I was a tech person, stand-in admin. I kind of did a little bit of everything. And then I decided that I wanted something different. And I love Nearpod. Always have, since it was introduced to me when I was in the classroom. And I got a position actually writing curriculum for Nearpod. So I worked on Nearpod's curriculum team for a year. And now I'm in customer success because I love talking to people and I love helping people. And so that's kind of what I'm here to do today. So if you have any questions at all, concerns, my email is on the screen. I'll give it to you again. But yeah, a little bit about me. Today, we're talking about student accounts, student Nearpod tools, and just questions and concerns around student-led Nearpods, what that means, what that looks like, all that good stuff. I'm going to take you through a few different experiences today. And of course, if you have questions or concerns at all, please feel free to put them in the chat. I'm going to try to pay attention to both. Yeah, let's get started. First, how familiar are you with Nearpod? I just kind of want to know where we're at. Are you an expert? Do you use Nearpod sometimes? Are you just getting started with Nearpod? There's no right or wrong answer really. So I would love to know just where you're at. I'm gonna switch over to teacher view and I'm gonna hide everyone's name so you don't feel pressured. I just want to know just kind of where you're at with the platform. Awesome. Sometimes you can also put it in the chat if you are not in the Nearpod. That's totally fine. So far, we're getting a lot of. I use Nearpod sometimes, which is totally cool, which is totally fine. I just kind of want to know where everyone's knowledge level is at, so that I can kind of get an idea of what we need, what we don't need. Ooh, we do have an expert in the house. Great, a few experts in the house, which is helpful. So that means those are people that you should go to later. If you have any follow-up questions. Really quick, I want to share just what our breakdown looks like. Again, everything I'm going to do today, reminder, you can do it and your student can do this when they get into their student account. So this is just our breakdown and how familiar we all are with Nearpod. Now that we all know, wonderful. We're going to keep it pushing. So what are student accounts? Student accounts are literally that. They are a student Nearpod account. Anne Arundel County has already turned these on. These already exist. Students just simply have to log in and they will have access to everything that we're going to talk about today. Student accounts give a ton of different features and a lot of really cool things, like stopping and starting lessons, resuming lessons. You can create multi-day lessons without losing student progress, which is always helpful. You can do the live to student pace option. And then, of course, students can create their own Nearpod presentations and experiences in Nearpod for their class and for presentations. I did link a few different things throughout this presentation. So if you click on some of our live links, it'll take you to articles that I thought were really helpful, and things like that. Also, side note, before we move forward, there are about 21 of you in the lesson right now, and I like to share with people that you can take notes in a Nearpod lesson as it is happening. So you as the student right now, on your right-hand side, you should see it like a pen and paper icon. If you click on that, that's going to take you to our notes option. You can write notes on every single slide, and then you'll have the option of choosing if you want the presentation emailed to you or if you want it directly into your Google Drive, or on your desktop. So if you choose the notes option, it will give you a presentation overview. It will give you literally every single slide of the presentation after I'm done presenting today. So I always encourage people to use that because it's great to take notes, and kind of write down your ideas as we're going. And I really think it's a really cool option to have. So also something that your students can do if you want them to. They can take notes on your presentations as you're presenting. Why student accounts? Again, they create more flexibility. You can save progress, seamlessly cross over to devices. I think about situations where students are, and push in and pull out situations. So maybe they're in your class for a little bit of your reading block, but they get pull out services and they have to come back and finish that work, or they want to pick up where they left off. All can be done with student accounts, which is awesome. You can also have students access and create their own lessons and individual reports after a lesson, which is really cool. So they kind of get the full teacher experience. So just like you get as individual student report after a lesson, they also get a breakdown of student participation when they've presented a lesson to a class, which is awesome. There is a safety feature that is unique to each and every student. So we make sure that their data is protected, of course, and just more student choice. Choice to me equals empowerment for students, encourages them to take ownership over their learning, and then allows them to choose their learning pathway. So we're talking interest, prior knowledge, reading level, any plethora of things for showcasing their knowledge, but also choosing their learning pathway and being engaged in their learning. So this is one of those live linked situations. So this is actually for teachers, kind of like an overview of student accounts. These are all individually linked features that teachers kind of can get an overview of about student accounts. So how to create a Nearpod lesson, how to support a student in creating an interactive video, providing them, directions on importing existing lessons, accessing their student reports, launching lessons, all those things are there for you to kind of prepare and support students as they're moving through their student account. I'm not saying you lay this all on them at, yes, my bullets are live links. So if you click on them, you should be able to get, so like when I click on them, these are all individual help desk articles to kind of help you. Okay, awesome. Glad you got it. Yeah, so of course you don't lay this all on them, but with any new thing, if you click in like the right hand corner, like I'm getting like a box up here, that's where you would click to kind of get all the live links. And I will definitely follow up and give you all these live links if you need them. So but yes, kind of supporting students through all of these things moving through their student account. Yes, you have your hand raised.
When we get the overview in the notes at the end of your presentation, will the links still be live?
They should be, but if they are
Okay.
not, I can always follow up and send you the live links.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
yes, and I can drop them in the chat too if you need them. But yes, they should be linked for you. Okay. The student experience. So the student experience is very different from the teacher experience. If you've been in Nearpod, you know that there's a lot going on the back end. You got your lessons, library, you have all kinds of programs and things and things that you can access. The student experience is much, much more pared down, which is wonderful. It's a lot more simple. Um, Students, this is just kind of a quick snapshot of what their experience looks like. There isn't a lot there. They have the option to join a lesson, go to my lessons and create them, and then go to my reports. So that's really all that they see. So they can create a lesson in their experience. They can also see student reports of lessons that they taught, and they can share and receive lessons um, with you as the teacher. What they cannot do, they cannot access our Nearpod library content. That is specifically for teachers only. They also can't access our Nearpod library. They will be able to access YouTube via our Safe Search and the county Safe Search. Um, so they can upload videos and things like that and make them interactive, but they don't have access to all the library content that you do as the teacher. They cannot mess with lesson settings. So if you as a teacher go in and you say, you know, all my student-paced lessons, there's no skipping. You can't skip anything. They can't go in and change that. They don't have that much power. So don't worry about that. And they cannot manage an account. They can't change your email. They can't change their email. They can't they can't they also can't create lessons on the specific app, like if you're doing it from an iPad. So it is limited on that iPad experience. Questions about that? If you have a question, you can always put it in the chat too. Or you can unmute. I don't care, either one. Okay. Awesome.
No questions so far in the chat.
Wonderful. All right. I love to point out the post-session reports because they're actually one of my favorite things of why I fell in love with Nearpod in the first place. As the resource teacher, I was in charge of all of our virtual interventions. And so post-session reports was like what I took to IEP meetings and what I took to 504 meetings for those, you know, those conversations. And I think they are so powerful, not only for teachers, but for students in this case. So what students will be able to do is once they are logged into their accounts and they've launched the lesson with your permission, I'll show you how to do that in a little bit. They'll be able to navigate to their reports bar, click on it, and then once they're in reports, they will be able to access things like the participation score for the overall class. They'll be able to see how students answered, and they'll be able to analyze and download reports in PDF form so that they can kind of, you know, do next steps if that's what you would like them to do. They can kind of think through. So maybe they're doing a research report and they want to see if everyone understood what they were saying about their particular person or, you know, rainforest or whatever, and they give a quiz at the end. They can look at the quiz answers, they can analyze those quiz answers, and they can even talk to you about next steps. Like, hey, I saw everyone was getting, you know, the levels of the rainforest wrong. I think that we need to go back, or like I need to go back and explain what that looks like, or give a follow-up question. They can access student reports and kind of have those conversations with you. It can be a little bit high level, but I will say, you know, even teaching third grade, there's a level of that they absolutely love. Every kid loves being the teacher. Every kid loves that experience. So even though some of this can get very high level, I think there's a great opportunity there for students to jump in and kind of take ownership over what they're teaching, what they're learning, and what their classmates are learning. They might understand how difficult your job is being in front of the classroom and kind of take those lessons and, you know, move forward and, you know, how they're presenting, sharpen their presentation skills, or even have like check-ins with other students, social emotional check-ins, you know, that could be a way to use it. So what everybody is probably thinking about, like, are kids just running into Nearpod and creating things willy-nilly and just like launching lessons left and right without my permission? The answer is no, absolutely not. Everything is done with our teacher moderation feature. So there's a lot of things that the teacher has to do in order for this to be successful. And the number one thing is moderate. So this requires a teacher from school, teacher in the classroom, to join a lesson before a student can launch it in class. So say little Asia is presenting on biographies. I decide to do my biography on Serena Williams, and I'm going to present my research project to everyone. I cannot, as a student in your class, just launch it and start teaching. You, as my teacher, have to be the first person to log into that lesson. And that creates a number of things. It makes you the co-teacher. So that means that you are now also in control of that lesson. You can click through. So maybe the student's up there presenting and you're in control of the, moving from page to page in the Nearpod. You once you join, that is going to allow the student and give them a pop-up to share the code with their classmates. You have to join in order for that to happen. You have to be in on the lesson, and if you want, the student can share with you prior to presenting, and you can preview everything that they put into that lesson before they even step foot into the classroom. So on your own time, you can access their lessons and presentations and kind of look over and grade if you want. You can do all kinds of things. You can make edits if you absolutely need to, or leave notes. Now, things that you have to keep in mind as the teacher that joins a lesson. Once you join a lesson, that like everything's triggered and they can now share. If you leave that lesson, they can still share. You've given the okay by joining the lesson. So just be mindful of that. Like if you leave a lesson, they still have the ability to share, even if you're not in that direct lesson. Does that make sense? I hope it does. It doesn't become locked again. Awesome. It doesn't become locked again for them. That lesson code will remain open because you've now given permission. And sharing lessons for teacher approval. We recommend using the share links so you can preview the lesson. I'll show you how to do that in my own personal Nearpod my own personal Nearpod account, just so you see it. Questions? I know that was a lot.
We're so good in the chat.
Awesome. Great. And then these are all features that we have to talk about these, even though all this stuff is kind of already ready to go for you all. How to enable teacher moderation. You can actually toggle off teacher moderation. I don't know why you would want to. Right now for you guys, it is required. So no matter what you do, it is required for teachers to join a lesson. You can turn this off. Again, I'm not really sure why you would want to do that, but it is an option. So we want to give you options. And this is a district setting, so that would be something that we would have to talk about at the higher level and at the back end level that I would have to do for you, or that a district admin would have to do. But right now it is enabled, so no worries about turning it on your personal end. It is already done. You can join a student lesson. It is required.
So Asia, we have a question. Is there a way to relock a lesson?
There, once you join it, no. All right, I am going to take you into my Nearpod account. Please, it is a lot going on in here, so please, please, please don't judge too harshly. But as far as sharing a lesson, I do want to show you what that looks like. So the student has the same experience as you do to share a lesson. So I'm in a lesson. I want to share this lesson on solving using the 4 operations to solve problems. So if you, me as the student, I need to share this with my teacher. I can do that a few different ways. First, I'm going to click on that 3 dot in the top right-hand corner, and I'm going to click share. And it gives you a bunch of options. It's going to give you an email option, a social option, a link, an embed option, and also remind. So I was telling people in my last session that, you can use the Remind app, like maybe a student's absent or whatever, and you want to send a lesson, you can do that. But this is how a student would share a lesson with you. So they can email it to you, they can copy the link and send it to you that way. They can give you a preview link, or they can give you an editable link. So you as a teacher could go in and make edits if you want, or maybe you just want to preview their work, maybe get your rubric out, grade it, and then they're going to present it the next day. They can do that as well. Questions before I get you guys into chatting and trying out some things? Awesome. So yes, I want to have a conversation about what student-led Nearpods how they could be used in your classroom, what that could look like. I'm seeing book reports. If you don't want to answer on the collaborate board, then you can also put it in the chat, or you can unmute and chit chat with me. That's also fine. Yes, I love the idea of doing it for research projects. Yes, test review. Student design test review would be really, really cool. I would love to see what that looks like. Yes, I have a raised hand. Ms. Jackson, go ahead.
Sorry, I just had a quick question. I guess I'm slightly confused. So when the students share whatever they created with you,
Mhm.
do you get to preview it first before you join? Because you said, like,
Yes.
once you join that you can't, that's like you saying it's okay. So you
You get
can look at it before you join?
Yes, you get to preview it. So maybe you just want, maybe you want preview only. They will give you the preview only link, but they can also give you an edit link so you could make changes to their presentation if necessary.
And then once you actually join it, though, you said then you're saying it's okay, and there's no way to, like, I know somebody had said, is there a way to relock the lesson? Like, is there any way to say, like, never mind, I changed my mind. I
You
don't
just
think you should be able to use this.
you would not be able to. So once you join it, then it's up for approval. Like they can share, but just you wouldn't join it. So if you're previewing it and you're saying, I want you to go back and look at this slide and this slide, you just give that student those notes, and then joining the lesson is a completely different experience. They'd have to give you the code and things like that before launching to their classmates.
Okay, all right, thank you for
No
clarifying
problem.
that.
Yes, book club meetings. I used to do book clubs, and I love the idea of using this for book club meetings. I also was thinking, I used to have students do like book commercials at the end of each day. So if a student's reading a book and they really love it and they want other students to kind of pick it up from the library, or read it and encourage them to read it, I could think like a quick 1-minute slide about a book and why they should read it could be a really cool way for students to use this feature. Research, book reports, student interest activities, absolutely. Oh, child development classes, it's a great practice. Oh yeah, that would be really cool. I don't know if I know in St. Mary's in Calvert County there was a like you can almost do like the Future Teachers of America. So that could be like a really cool thing to have those students who are aspiring to be in education opportunity to kind of create lessons and practice being in front of public speaking skills and things of that nature. That could be really great. Yes, absolutely. You can use this instead of your Google Slides presentation. And of course, you can take your Google Slides and easily convert them into a Nearpod. Let me know if I need to show you how to do that. It's very, very easy. And we have an add-on for that to turn everything into a Nearpod, and it takes you directly to your Nearpod library and saves it for you.
Can I ask, what do you think is the best way to, I guess, receive, keep, organize the links that students would be sharing with you? Like my first thought was that you make a Google form and
Oh.
have students share, like copy the share link, paste it, and then that way, like if you had your 2B class working on whatever, that way before you hit that live, to say, okay, you can go live,
Mhm.
that way you could keep an ongoing preview. Do you have something better?
I love the idea of a Google form. I'm a Google form girl because I just love how it's organized and very simple. I also was thinking just like you could even do as simple as a Google Doc. Or I don't know, I label my emails so certain ones go in certain folders. So maybe you label your folders and your emails and they go to certain folders for certain classes. Um, just a Google Doc that just kind of has like, student name, student link, yes or no, on how to present. Yeah, I wouldn't want to get hundreds of emails either. And yes, the Google slide and Nearpod interaction is turned on for you all. I can show you how to do that. Do I need to show you guys how to do that? How to take your Google slides and turn them into Nearpods? Is that a thing? It's not necessarily on topic, but I don't mind showing you. Yes, absolutely they can. Very easily. Oh, Brightspace. Yes, you can use Brightspace for sure. I love it. I love these ideas. We do have one more activity. We have a fun time to climb because who doesn't love a time to climb? But really quickly, I know there's interest in, yes, they can edit a lesson after you approve it. Oh, no, not after you join it. But if you approve it and say like, hey, little Johnny, that's a great lesson you're going to present tomorrow. Maybe don't forget to put your name on, the first slide. They can go back and put their name. But once they're in the lesson and launched it and everything, it's going to trigger a couple of different things. Once you join the lesson and there's a specific code, just like a teacher, once people join that lesson is that lesson. If you make edits or anything, it's going to give you a brand new code, which is going to prompt the whole situation all over again. So it's going to make you join the new lesson with the new lesson code for them to launch it. Does that make sense? It's the same with teachers. So if I'm in this lesson right now with you all, if I want to relaunch this lesson, it's going to make me give my next group of folks a new lesson code. So it's going to start all over and kind of clean slate situation. But if it's the student doing it, it's going to make the teacher join it again. There was a little bit of interest about making Google Slides interactive. I'm gonna, let me see if I'm gonna pull this over here. All right. I actually did this lesson in Google Slides. So the way that you make this interactive is you just go to your extensions, click Nearpod, open Nearpod, and then all the Nearpod features will open in Google for you. Here. And you can choose to add in all of these features. You can choose to add in video, you can choose to add in audio, fraction tiles, all the features are here. Web content, time to climb, all that is there. If you're not sure which feature you need, you can go to the search bar. They list all features, content specific. If you want content specific features, web content, and then all of our activities are there for you. And then you can convert it to draw it, any slide into draw it, or if you want to, I want to add a matching pair, I just click on matching pair, it'll open it for me, and then prompts you to, oh no, you shouldn't be getting that. Are you logged in properly? If you're getting the gold, try gold for free, then you're not on the district.
I was just there. Are you in with your AACPS?
Yeah, if you're getting try for free or anything like that, then you need to make sure that you're logged in through the county. through email. And if you can't get it, then that's something that usually I take care of. So if there's something going on with your login, please send me your name and your email, and I will go into our back end and make sure that your account is all set up and ready to go.
Probably CC. What grade are you? Are you elementary, middle, or high? HHT. What is that? Home hospital. Trying to think who, because I was going to say if you're elementary or middle or high, CC, Carrie, or Tracy. Yeah, just CC OIT on that email to her as well, if you don't mind.
Oh, I'm not 100% sure. Paige, do you know the answer to that?
What did it say to her? Yeah, you do have to fill out the form. Let's see. I believe it's on. Ooh, where is it? Give me a minute. I'll find that form. Asia, you can keep going.
No, it's fine. So our last activity is a time to climb, because who doesn't love a good time to climb? Reminder, time to climb is like our gamified, like fun, interactive feature. It's kind of like a quiz, but much better than a quiz, much more fun. We have tons of different themes. I'm not really sure. And I don't know. Somebody put in the chat which theme you want. We've got the beach, we've got carnival, we've got jungle, sports, space, Valentine's Day, underwater. Beach. Yes. Who would love to be at the beach? I would. And again, this is another feature that students can add into their presentation if they really want to. Randomizing answers. You can pause between questions for discussion, which I am going to turn on because I know I'm going to want to talk. And then play sound on all student devices. There is a song that goes along with Time to Come. If you used it before, it can get to be a little much if you play it long enough. But I'm going to go ahead and play it for you anyway. And press continue. You have to join the game. You have to pick a character, and then we'll be off and running, literally. I am hiding student names still, so I can't see who's in it. Right now we're waiting for players, but as you guys pop up on the screen, all your little characters pop up, and there are tons of characters. If you click the arrow, there's tons of little characters that you can choose from. I'm going to keep student names hidden because I don't want, sometimes it's best for Time to Climb to keep names hidden because kids get real competitive and there is like a first and second and third place winner. Sometimes you just don't even want the names in there. I know we have 22 people in this Nearpod and there are 18 people in the game right now. So I'll give everyone another few seconds to join them. We're going to go ahead and get started. Yes.
I had a quick question. So I was using this with a lesson that I was teaching for like a lot of classes.
Okay.
Like probably like 15 different classes. And I found that sometimes the time to climb, like the timer wouldn't do the full time. Like it would just move to the next question. Is there like a reason why it does that? Or is that just a glitch? Like it would happen randomly. Like maybe sometimes it'd play fine and then some questions would do the full seconds, and then some it would like not even give the kids enough time to answer.
It could be a couple of different things. Did everyone, so it doesn't give everyone time to answer?
No, it would like the question would go up and then it would just be gone. And I was like, oops, all right, moving on, guys. Like,
or did you click to the next one? Because you can also manually.
No.
It must be a glitch. I've never had that happen to me, but that doesn't mean it doesn't happen. So, I mean, the next time that happens, or if you can replicate it and send like a screen share video or something, then that'd be something I definitely would take to our IT and product team to let them know there's something going on with Time to Climb.
Okay. All right.
So
Thank you.
I'll put in I'll put it in our product channel as something just to watch out for, just a glitch. How often does
I
it
didn't mean to
happen?
do that.
Oh, no, it's fine. How often does it happen for you?
It seemed like it was happening with like the Nearpods that I was doing like multiple times. Like if I just do a Nearpod with one class, I wasn't having that
Mhm.
issue. But like this particular lesson, I taught to the entire 11th grade social
Okay.
studies. So like it was like probably like the 10th time I taught it, and it seemed like it started to kind of glitch out the more I used the same lesson, even though I was doing different live lessons each time. And
Sure.
then I
Okay.
had it happen one time where I did a change to the same lesson, and sometimes it would show the slides to the students that they were seeing were different from my slides on my screen. It was really odd. Like it was all jumbled. I
Sounds
was
very
having a lot of
weird.
issues.
It sounds glitchy. It just sounds like a weird glitch. It could be because you're using that same lesson back to back, like over and over. But I'll put it into our product team just to be on the lookout for it and see if it's happened somewhere else and if there's a fix for it for sure. All right, let's start the game. I am going to stop sharing my screen because I don't want you guys to see the answers. All right. Do student accounts have to be turned on? They absolutely do. It is true. They do have to be turned on. You guys already have this feature turned on, so this is not something that you have to worry about. This is something that the district as a whole decided, okay, we really want kiddos to have this feature. So yes, they do have to be turned on, and you guys don't have to worry about it because they're already turned on for you. It was a trick question. Yes, it was. I can't make it too easy. Come on now. Next question is coming up. All right. When student accounts are turned on, students can select all that apply. There might be more than one answer here. Read those carefully, please. All right. There are two correct answers here. They can launch Nearpods and they can review lesson data after launching a Nearpod or quick activity. They cannot launch a poll during a teacher lesson. So you be sure that you are safe up there. Students can't just randomly launch lessons while you're teaching. So no interruptions there. And then they cannot use our Nearpod library content and videos. That's reserved specifically for you. Oh no, I'm sorry. That's terrible. Yeah, no, they can't access the Nearpod library and content. It is reserved for teachers, but they can embed videos through YouTube Safe Search or videos that they have saved or that you gave them access to. Not enough time. I'm sorry, I made these quick. I apologize. We're going to move on to the next question. I did put a timer. There's a quick timer. Next question is here. Who is the first person that must join a student lesson? Is it the teacher, a student, a district admin, a classmate? Who is it? It's the teacher. Most of you got that right. Absolutely. It is the teacher. In order for a lesson to be launched, the teacher has to join the lesson and become the co-teacher, and then that student can then allow other students to join a lesson. Last question I think I have here is coming up. Can student-led Nearpods increase student engagement, voice, and data analysis? I don't know. Is it true or false? It is 100% true. Absolutely. Student Nearpods are going to allow students to present data, analyze data, allow them to present their interest and work on public speaking and things of that nature. It is really a time for students to be engaged and take ownership over their learning and use their voice literally and figuratively in front of the class. So thank you guys so much for participating in my low time to climb. 4 easy questions. Here are our leader scores. Again, I hid the names, so you know who you are if you got that top tier points. Great job, everybody. My last slide for you all is a few different things. These are all live links again. I always highly encourage your Nearpod support page. Your teams at the district level have done a fantastic job creating a support page specific to you guys. So it does have our updates that we send out monthly. It has links to articles that are specific to the teachers and students that are in Anne Arundel County. I've also linked a student account overview just for you to kind of look at and kind of get a feel of as you're walking students through that process. And then I have links how teacher moderation works. So just an in-depth article about that process of moderating as a teacher. And then I do have a student article linked for you to share with your students on how to create their first Nearpod. And of course, I have my information there. I'm always there to help. Questions, concerns. I was just up your way last week. So if you ever need me to pop in, model something, watch you do something, I love that kind of stuff. So anything you need from me, I am more than happy to help. If you have more questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat. I do know that there's like a survey, not survey, but page. I'm not sure if you have it. It's like a
Yep. Give me 1 second.
yes.
Gotta flip through some tabs here. Let's see. Session 2.
Yep. The
I got a
attendance.
bunch of tabs here.
Oh, you take your time. If there are questions, you can unmute yourself. You can drop them in the chat. Any of that is fine. Yep.
All right, that should be the attendance form there.
Yeah, I did end a smidge earlier than I planned, but it's all good. I'll give you guys a couple of minutes, or you can stay, hang around, ask questions. Make sure you fill out the attendance form. I know that's important for you all, so please, please, please do that. And thank you guys so much for taking the time out to come and hear me chit chat a little bit. I so glad I could help, and so glad I could present on something I love and care about. So. You're very welcome. I'm going to hang around for a few minutes. So if you need anything, feel free to unmute or drop it in the chat or email me. You're welcome.
Miss Long.
Yes.
I just had some feedback. Are we still at the situation where if you edit a Nearpod lesson, that code, the link doesn't work anymore?
It depends on what it is. The code will change.
Yeah,
it's not that it doesn't work, but it does change. So if you change it,
that's what I'd like to send to your developers. That is my number one complaint. If I want to go and tweak my lesson between classes because I used it and I could see it could be better, and I tweak it, then everywhere I posted the link, I have to edit that, and the link is no good anymore.
Okay. So do you have multiple classes, if you don't mind me asking? Is that?
Yeah, because I'm a librarian. I present lessons to 800 students. So, every class, every language arts class in the building.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, that's kind of a drag, because I use other, platforms, ed tech tools where you share links. And this is the only one that does that.
Give the unique code.
Yeah.
I think it's a way to especially organize your student data and reports. So when you have that individual code, it kind of links it to like that specific class and things like that.
Yeah.
But I can see how that, that could be
Yeah, that's another thing is even if I don't edit it, I have to either make separate Nearpods for different classes, like different grades, or I have to, I guess I have to just stop it and then launch it again, right?
Yes.
So I
Yes.
can get a new report. That I can deal
Right.
with that. That's not bad.
But I could see how having, like, you make one little tweak, you change one word, and then all of a sudden you have a new code. I could see how that can be a lot.
Exactly.
So I will definitely submit that. We have a
Thank you.
product and a content feedback form that I'll share that hopefully will make it onto the Anne Arundel County support page.
Okay.
And you all are free to always submit content ideas. You're free to submit product ideas of things that you want to see. So we're always taking that feedback as a platform.
I'll give you some positive feedback. The reports feature is one of my favorite things about it because I used it for national boards evidence.
Awesome. That's wonderful.
It was really helpful. So
I'm so glad. I'm so glad that I was able to help. I will definitely take that feedback.
right,
And
Amy?
I had a question that will my Nearpod be available for you to have? I don't mind emailing. I can email you the Google Slides if you would want. I could share this if you want. I could share it as a preview, or I don't want to share it as an editable link because I might have to use this at other times, but I can definitely, if you would like this presentation, I don't mind sending it. Feel free to email me. I don't know. Oh, sure. Great. If you want this slideshow, then I'd be happy to send it to you. Please email me just because it's a lot of, sure. Yeah, or put your email in the chat and I can grab it really quick. Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a good one.
Thank you, Miss Long.
No problem. So glad that you all were able to come. Thank you. I think I got everyone's email. 1, 2, 3. Oh, there you go. Got it. One, two, three, 4, 5. 4. That one. Paige or Amy, do you need anything else from me? I don't want to jump off if you still needed me.
Nope. I think I'm good.
Awesome.
If you just
Sorry,
want to stop the
no.
recording.
I was on another screen and was doing some other stuff.
No, it's no problem. No problem.
Bye.
Bye.